M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Nick Foles and the Chicago Bears.
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Chicago Bears. Welcome again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
This is the receiver turned running back, Cordero Patterson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
A 9-yard gain on the play.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens will take over.
1st and 10. At their own 29-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Off the play fake, he'll set up to throw it. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, the veteran Ted Ginn. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Boy, those punt returns for a touchdown, it just seems like 50% of the time there's a flag, and there was there.
Yeah, and that number might even be conservative, right? I mean, every time we see it, we're excited by the play, but I know we're looking at the field waiting for a flag to come out. So many moving parts often leads to a penalty.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. And the Bears first down.
A play fake to Montgomery, now Foles. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Patterson on the draw play. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
There's Foles. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Anthony Miller there to make the grab. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
The Baltimore Ravens now 4-1 in 2020. They get the relatively easy win over Cincy Week 5, 27-3. The 4th straight time they've beaten their AFC North rivals. And the Ravens getting their first look at Joe Burrow, and really they were the first one to totally tamp him down, holding him without a touchdown. And what was that you told me, Charles, the 5th time that a reigning MVP had taken on last year's #1 pick?
Yeah, like the previous 4 times, the MVP came out on top. In this game, going into it, when you looked at those two playing against each other, it was almost like professional wrestling, belt versus belt, wasn't it? Think of the hardware both of them have in their homes that they have accumulated during their time. Not just reigning MVP versus #1 overall pick, but both former Heisman winners going head-to-head. You name it, that matchup had it. And now we got to take a look at what Baltimore has coming up. They go to Philadelphia, a short road trip next week before they get their open week in Week 7. And right now, this schedule's really good for Baltimore in terms of travel. I don't think they get on a plane for like the next 30 days or 40 days or so. So that's really a built-in advantage in a really tough season.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 30 yards. And the Ravens Lions are an extra point away from tying the football game. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and get it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
To kick off for Baltimore.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chicago Bears coming back out here. It's a team that's 4-1 for the first time since 2012 as they take care of the Bucs 20-19 on Thursday night, Week 5. And Nick Foles did just enough to win. 243 yards, a touchdown, did also throw an interception. But for Foles, his first win as a Bears starter, he also improves to 2-0 over Brady, with the other, of course, being the win, Charles, in Super Bowl 52. But have you seen enough to say that the Bears are for real?
Well, I think that they are headed towards it. I still want to see more consistency on offense. I mean, Nick Foles gets the win because that's what we do with starting quarterbacks. But as you said, he did just enough. You know, I didn't think he was particularly spectacular in this game. But isn't it funny that he's 2-0 against Tom Brady? It's kind of like in baseball, Hall of Fame pitcher. He has that guy who hits 230 in his career, who hits 500 against him. You know, that guy just can't get out. That's kind of what Tom Brady has with Nick Foles. But truthfully, with this Bears team, what got them over the hump against Tampa was Khalil Mack, Hakeem Hicks, Robert Quinn, the pass rush, especially late in the ball game. So we'll see what happens with the Bears coming up. If the offense gets going smoothly, they're going to be a tough out because they're on the road the next 2 weeks. At Carolina is playing surprisingly well in the early going, and then a long-distance trip to go take on the L.A. Rams, who won this past week too.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
22-yard line.
Nice gain there by the second-year runner out of Iowa State, David Montgomery, who often finishes his runs moving forward and knocking defenders back. He finished tied with Josh Jacobs for the most carries by a rookie last year. But what the Bears need from him, improve on his...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on a final play of this first quarter. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, switching gears for a second. Look, Charles, we know it's part of the game, but injuries, again, a big story in Week 5. Most notably, of course, Dak Prescott. Pretty severe ankle injury that's going to keep him out the remainder of the season. And that's really just the latest in what has been a...
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Intercepted.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Number 32.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
34-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A 5-yard.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's Patterson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bears have taken the lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Returning it, Justice Hill. A nice little juke. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 49-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. He'll run it. Oh! Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Past the 20.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
Touchdown.
David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Bears push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
For the extra point.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31 yard.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And there's a familiar sight, Khalil Mack putting a quarterback down in the backfield for another sack. I know he only had 8.5 sacks in 2019, so a lot of people wrote that off as...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Khalil Mack in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, it's Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
For the Ravens.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And that will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, as we normally do, let's look ahead to what's to come here in the NFL for Week 6. Some changes to the schedule in this most unusual season. But, CD, I've earmarked a few here. I've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Of course, that's going to be a lot of fun. Arizona, Dallas.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, 91 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone. Do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also show that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football,
be safe.
Be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Takes this about 5 yards deep, and Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
Onto the field again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. First down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, we got a second here, Charles. Let's play believer, non-believer. I'll give you a couple teams off to surprising starts. You tell me if you believe that they will continue that way. And let's start with the Browns at 4-1.
Non-believer last year, believer to start this season, believer even after they got whacked in the opener by Baltimore. I think they'll contend for a playoff spot.
Okay, the Bears, same record, 4-1.
I still want to see more out of this team, but I like how their defense plays. Still need consistency on offense.
And then lastly, what about the Panthers at 3-2?
Oh, one of the great stories in the early going. Non-believer, because I think their division's too tough with Tampa Bay and New Orleans. But, boy, I like what they're doing so far at 3-2. Way better record than what people thought.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
7 yards, the pickup there. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now Foles. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there. And
You know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
A 28-yard gain.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Foles. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Intended for Ted Ginn Jr. It leads to 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And that's incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw David Montgomery with the strong first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it.
And that's caught inside the 35.
How you like me
and
now?
All the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his second touchdown of the night. And the Ravens can take the lead now if they hit the extra point.
Lining up for the extra point.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
At their own 20-yard.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. We got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect. But overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
He's tackled at the 30.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And it's third down.
On third down, it's Patterson, and the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
They'll run with a rookie second-rounder. It's J.K. Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.